Hello and welcome to this video where I am going to be going over the seeds that I will be planting in my first garden ever. I did not garden growing up at all, and this is the first year in my adult life since being out of my parents that I actually have a yard for the full planting season. So I'm really looking forward to growing my own food this year. And with that, I will get into what we will be growing. So my husband and I, we have two raised beds in the front yard where we already planted garlic, so I can post, or I already did post, a video that I can link to somewhere. Still learning how to do this whole YouTube thing, so it'll be linked somewhere or below. And then we also will be putting a raised bed in the back that I believe is 2 feet by 4 feet, and then we also got some vertical planters that we will be using as well. So I'll try to distinguish what we're planning on doing with some of these things that we're planting, and there will also be some indoor herbs that I'll go over as well. But we're really looking forward to seeing how all of this will work, and it'll be a great learning lesson this year and hopefully something we'll do for years to come. So like I said, we got some things to plant in a raised bed, but then also in vertical planters. So we did get this container vegetable collection from Botanical Interests. So I'll briefly go over what's included in here. I will also say this came with a cute little bow that I don't know where I put. I probably threw it away, to be honest, after I looked at these the first time. But like I said, I'll go over what's in this pre-made collection. So first we have a bush or bean bush, the contender variety, and they say that it'll be good in 50 days, or it'll be mature in 50 days. I'm still learning these terms, so bear with me, but I'm really looking forward to this because I don't know, I feel like the seeds are super cool. They're the largest ones out of all the ones that we've gotten, and this will be planted in our containers. Obviously all of the ones that I'll be mentioning in this little packet will be in our not raised beds. They'll be in our vertical planters. Next we have carrots, and I don't know how to pronounce this variety name, so I'm not even going to attempt to do so, but carrots are my favorite vegetable, and these are short and stout, so they'll fit in our vertical planter. And I'm looking forward to trying these, and maybe in future years trying different varieties of carrots, because I know that I like carrots, so why not? Next we have cucumbers. Cucumbers aren't my favorite, but I don't dislike them either, and these are the Space Master 80 variety. Next we have kale. We have this dwarf blue curled organic variety, and we use kale in smoothies sometimes or in some of our pasta dishes. So probably gonna use whatever we grow for that and freezing it. I've heard that kale freezes pretty well, which would have also been really nice to know before I even started gardening, because when we bought kale, we feel like kale goes bad pretty quickly, and that thought should have occurred to me to freeze it, but it wasn't until I was watching other people's videos to say, yeah, kale freezes pretty well. So we're hoping to grow a sizable amount of kale so then we can replace our grocery store kale throughout the year. Next we have this little gem lettuce, and this is probably one of my favorite things that I'm excited about within this collection, because little gem lettuce is the type of lettuce that we like to use for our lettuce wraps because they're just the perfect size and I love them so much. There is a particular recipe that we have found that we can even link to for our lettuce wraps that hopefully you'll like, but it calls for little gem lettuce, so that's how we found out about this variety to begin with. Then we also have these onion bunching scallions, and it's the Tokyo long white variety. Once again, use this a lot in cooking, so we plan on getting a good amount of use of this if it harvests well. Next we have some pepper, sweet pepper. I was about to say pepper sweet, but sweet peppers. And it's the California Wonder variety, also USDA organic. I probably missed saying that for a handful of them. And they're also an heirloom variety. So we're looking forward to having these because we also use them in our cooking. I actually had it in an omelet this morning, so we will definitely get our use out of these. Next we have spinach. I don't know how to pronounce this variety name either, so once again, not going to attempt. I probably should have watched a few videos on these pronunciations before recording mine, but didn't think that far ahead. And spinach, kind of use it in the same way as we use kale, smoothies, and cooking. And I think this freezes well too. This one I'm less excited about. I don't know. I'm warming up to squash this year, so maybe I'll like this summer squash Emerald Delight variety. And I have no idea what we're gonna do with this, and this might even get the boot if we feel like we want to plant more seeds of the other things that we've gotten. I'm willing to give anything a try. Now, when I brought this up to my husband when we first got the package saying that we were gonna be growing these tomatoes in the containers so then we could replace some of the tomatoes that we use in our pasta, he thought we should grow even more tomatoes besides these tiny little cherry tomatoes. And I don't have the seeds for those yet, so we're gonna be on the lookout for different tomatoes. So if you have a particular tomato variety that you really like, we will definitely consider it because we're gonna be planting more than what we just got here. So that was the last of the container vegetables, and I'm not gonna put that box together because I would make a fool out of myself, so we're just gonna put that off to the side with my pile. Next, I will be going into the other seeds that we've gotten from Botanical Interests besides the ones that came in the container vegetable collection. And the first is one of my new favorite vegetables, and it has historically been one of Justin's favorites, is this spaghetti squash. We love spaghetti squash. We've probably been eating spaghetti squash at least once every other week over the past like 4 or 5 months, and they're not cheap. They're not cheap, so it'd be really nice to grow a handful of them and replace the ones that we get from the store, especially considering these are also USDA organic and we don't plan on putting any pesticides on our homegrown garden. And that would definitely be a lot cheaper than buying all of the spaghetti squash that we have been at the store compared to the $4.49 that I spent on this packet of seeds. So I'm hoping these do really well, and they store really well according to people on the internet. So hopefully we'll be able to grow our supply. Next, we have little pumpkins. I'm still trying to decide whether or not we're gonna put this in the raised bed or in the containers, but we got these Jackby little pumpkins because they're so cute, and we can also eat the seeds after. And 3, one of my most exciting things that we're planning on doing with these is that our church likes to have the kids paint these at a little fall festival each fall, and it'd be so nice to be able to donate these rather than having the church need to purchase them. So we're hoping we're gonna get a good yield out of this. If not the end of the world, but that is what we're looking forward to doing with these seeds. We also got okra. I have never had okra, and it's the red burgundy variety, but it is apparently one of Justin's favorite vegetables, which we still haven't had it in the past 8 months of our marriage, so I don't know how truly of a favorite it is because we go grocery shopping together. Like, we've barely gone to the store without one another. He wanted to get this, so who am I to say no? And I think it looks pretty, and it has a flower on top, so it'll hopefully attract some pollinators to our garden. So next we have the onions, which we got the yellow sweet Spanish Utah variety. I don't know why I got a sweet variety. You live and you learn, but we'll use them. We'll figure out a way to use them. And I've also realized that these need to go into soil like immediately. We're already in that planting season, so after I'm done filming this video, I'll have to kind of get that setup going. And if you are interested in seeing us plant these seeds for the very first time, I'm more than willing to film that adventure as well. But this is what we've got. Maybe we'll buy more to suit our onion needs, but I'll probably plant at least a few of these. Now, this is something that I will not be planting right now because I didn't realize that it should probably go in the ground at the same time as our garlic, but I ended up buying some chives, and they are among the garlic family, if you will. and we're a little too late and outside of the season. But since I bought them and we do plan on planting these in the future, I at least wanted to have them listed here as an honorable mention. Next we have lavender. This is because lavender is one of my favorite flowers, and we were hoping it's going to attract pollinators, like I said earlier with the okra. And it would also be nice to kind of plant around our garden area. It is deer resistant. I know it won't prevent the deer from getting to our garden. I know that's not what deer resistant means, but we're hoping it at least deters them just a little bit. So we'll see. It'll be a complete experiment for us, and we are just living right now with the landscaping that the former owners left us, which is in a bit of disarray. So we're really hoping to spruce it up this year. We also have some daffodils for our front yard and things of that nature, but lavender is one of my favorites, so we're hoping that this goes well this year. Next, we have strawberries, and honestly, I don't know a single soul who doesn't like strawberries that isn't allergic to them. So I don't know why anyone wouldn't try at least planting strawberries, but that's just me. And we got one that is good for containers, but we also may plant them in our raised bed as well, just to see which one does better. But this particular variety is the red and yellow Wonder Blend. I am really curious how the yellow ones will do, and I'm gonna have to do some more research to know when those will be ripe. But like I said, this will be an adventure, and I'm really looking forward to trying to grow these. And one of the last things that we purchased from Botanical Interests are these radishes. I don't know why I bought these. And I asked Justin because I couldn't remember if he said he liked radishes. I've never tried a radish, so I don't know. And he says he doesn't remember. So I might have just bought these because either A, I wanted to try them, or B, because I think they're pretty because it's considered an Easter egg blend. But my memory is not serving me well, so I have no idea why I bought these. So these might also get the boot if we end up wanting to plant more of the other things that we purchased, but we at least have this as an option. So we'll see how our planning goes to see whether or not we're actually going to plant these. Then we also got some free lettuce as a thank you within our Botanical Interests order. And apparently this is great for succession planting. So I think I will likely plant this to learn more about succession planting and just get into that groove. But we like lettuce. We don't use it all that much, so I don't know exactly what we're gonna use it for, but I'm not opposed to planting it. Next, we got some parsley with our vertical planters. So we got ours off of Amazon, and I believe Greenstock Garden is the brand that we got it from, or its brand name, I should say. I'm really not well spoken if you can't tell, but it's the Italian giant parsley variety, and we might plant a few indoors, we might plant a few out in our vertical planters, still trying to decide, especially considering before getting this, we ended up getting a different type of parsley just from Home Depot, I think, but this is the Burpee, it's Burpee Organics parsley, and it's the plain or single Italian. So we're planning on planting at least one of these, maybe both, seeing how we like the difference and seeing how they grow indoors compared to outdoors. It'll be a fun experiment year. We have no idea what we're doing, so that's why experimentation is important. Then we also have cilantro. We use cilantro in cooking, I don't want to say frequently. We have more common herbs like sage and basil. So those we actually got our sage plant, and we're trying to find a good basil plant at the grocery store and just growing it from there. But these we decided to plant from seed, and we'll see how that goes. But we got cilantro, and like I said, good for containers, and we might do indoor, outdoor. We have to figure out how many pots we have, and I don't know. We're not as prepared for this planting season as you think I would be, considering I've had way more time to plan. But like I said, it's our first time. We're just giving it a go. And lastly, our last herb that we're planning on planting is thyme. And I don't really have much to say about this particular one other than we're giving this one a try as well. So I hope you enjoyed our little haul, and I definitely know it's a little haul compared to some of the other videos that I've been watching. And if you have any particular first year gardening tips, I would definitely appreciate it if you left that in the comments, because we're literally just going into this blind and with help from the internet. So internet, if you don't mind helping us out, that would be great. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video, and feel free to come back to this channel later or subscribe to see what we will be doing next, either in the garden or in the kitchen.